Coming up, an update on the coronavirus as China sees its deadliest day.
And two broadband giants edge closer to a deal that could affect 100 million customers.
All that and more today, Wednesday, February 12th. Good morning, Emerson. I'm Angel Salcido.
And I'm Megan McPherson. We begin with this morning's top stories.
The coronavirus death total has reached 1,000. According to the World Health Organization, another diagnosis in California yesterday marks the 13th case in the country. All 13 patients are currently under quarantine. President Donald Trump issued a travel ban on February 2nd in an effort to contain the outbreak, while 99% of cases remain in mainland China. Only 2 people outside of China have died from the disease, one in Hong Kong and the other in the Philippines.
T-Mobile is now making progress in taking over competitor Sprint. The company won approval from a federal judge on Monday. The merger is valued at over $26.5 billion. Sprint was not projected to survive as a major competitor, but the merger would help T-Mobile overtake industry leader AT&T in total number of monthly subscribers. The wireless carriers said that the deal is expected to close as soon as April 1st.
The Green Line is facing even more upcoming closures. The Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority is planning 2 month-long shutdowns on the C and E branches of the Green Line, as well as several weekend projects. The reason for the closures: to put construction on the fast track.
You can get an awful lot of work done in that period rather than spending all your time setting up, working for 3 hours, and then taking it down in the middle of the night.
The plans, which were expected to last over several years, are now set to finish by 2021.
Duxbury is set to receive over $8 million for storm-related costs. The seaside town was hit by a brutal nor'easter in the winter of 2018 that damaged seawalls and caused power outages. The Federal Emergency Management Agency will directly provide Duxbury with $6.1 million. The remaining $2 million will come from non-federal sources. The funds will be used to offset money that was spent on damage repairs by the town following the storm.
Super Tuesday is around the corner, and the Massachusetts primary is set for March 3rd. The deadline for registration is today, so remember to check your voting information through the Secretary of the Commonwealth's website and get to the polls. And for the latest on the race to the nomination, we go to our political correspondent, Daniela Lobo Rivera.
Senator Bernie Sanders won the New Hampshire primary on Tuesday night. Sanders led with a 26%, followed by Mayor Pete Buttigieg in second place with 24.4%. The win marked an extraordinary comeback for Sanders, who suffered a heart attack in early October that forced him to leave the campaign trail for several weeks. Sanders said that, quote, "The victory here is the beginning of the end for Donald Trump," end quote. Andrew Yang announced he's ending his campaign for president. Yang's decision comes after a disappointing finish in Iowa and a lackluster start in New Hampshire. Yang said in an interview that, quote, "In most of these upcoming states, I'm not going to be at a threshold where I get delegates, which makes sticking around not necessarily helpful or productive in terms of furthering the goals of this campaign," end quote. President Trump released a $4.8 trillion budget proposal that reflects his effort to shrink the federal safety net. The proposal includes deep cuts to student loan assistance, affordable housing efforts, food stamps, and Medicaid. It also emphasizes on additional spending for the military, national defense, border enforcement, and an extension of the individual income tax cuts. It said that the proposal is unlikely to be approved in its entirety by Congress. The 4 federal prosecutors who took the case of Roger Stone to trial withdrew their involvement. This occurred after top Justice Department officials made the stunning and politically charged decision to reduce Stone's recommended sentence of up to 9 years. Stone was convicted on 7 charges last year that derived from the Robert Mueller investigation, including lying to Congress and witness tampering. That's all I have for politics. Back to Megan and Angel at the desk.
Thanks, Daniela. Our Emerson News reporter Maria Sato traveled with WBN for their coverage of New York Fashion Week.
From Iowa to New York to Miami, These students are covering it all. WBN, an Emerson-affiliated news broadcast team, sends students annually to cover major events around the country. This year, teams were sent to the Super Bowl, Iowa caucuses, and New York Fashion Week. I joined the WBN entertainment team behind the scenes in New York. While in New York, students covered multiple events, providing up-to-date coverage via social media, web stories, and video packages. Students also interviewed public figures such as Victoria Justice, The Bachelor's Tyler Cameron, and Miss Teen USA. I talked to WBN Entertainment co-executive producer Natalie Benoit about her experience on this trip and her time with WBN.
So there were a lot of firsts in the process, figuring out how we would reach out to designers, get press access for some of the events. I know that the team had to do a lot of work within 3 days, and it was just show after show after show, with web stories getting done, social media, packages, and then all of this is going into a final show. So you have a team that's very dedicated to everything we did this weekend. When we were at these New York Fashion Week events, people didn't see us as students, they saw us as press, and we were treated as adults and as professionals, and I think that held everybody to a higher expectation and prepared them for the real world. You put in a lot of hard work and you want to see it pay off, and you want people to see that you're capable of doing certain things, and these trips are exactly where people can shine and show that they're capable of doing professional, real work.
I also talked to Victoria Gonzalez, who has been a part of WBN for over 2 years. She has covered the Oscars and Boston Fashion Week.
It was just very hectic, but it was also, I liked that about it because it taught us what it was like to, really be a journalist in this type of environment. And it was just really nice to meet professionals and see a different side of the entertainment news that I don't really see here in Boston. It's been one of the best experiences I've had at Emerson because it has taught me everything that I know in journalism, and a lot of the things that I do in class I already learned before in WBN.
Their coverage will be turned into a 30-minute special called New York Fashion Week Walk Down the Runway. Reporting from New York, I'm Maria Sato.
Thanks, Maria. When we come back, we'll hear from our entertainment correspondent, Miles Schumann.
Now, here's a quick look at our 5-day weather forecast.
Hey, we're your roomies, your homies, your new living best.
We live here too.
Thanks.
Action.
Do you have any idea what time it is?
It's time.
7. Oh. 7? It would mean a lot to me if you guys watch.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson.
Our entertainment correspondent, Miles Schumann, has an update on the Varsity Blues scandal and the latest in entertainment news.
Prosecutors in the college admissions scandal have released the alleged fake athletic profile of Lori Loughlin's daughter. 20-year-old Olivia Jade is made out to be a, quote, highly talented coxswain. A fake resume with redactions lists years of rowing competitions and numerous bronze, silver, and gold medal wins. Prosecutors argue she never participated in crew. While Loughlin and her husband have pled not guilty to all charges, the government is requesting a trial for October of this year. Celebrities are gathering around TV personality Gayle King after she asked a close friend of Kobe Bryant about his 2003 sexual assault allegations. Rapper Snoop Dogg has accused King of tarnishing Bryant's legacy and warned her to, quote, back off before we come get you. Many celebrities have posted hashtag I stand with Gayle, while former National Security Advisor Susan Rice addressed Snoop Dogg in a profane tweet. King's best friend Oprah Winfrey has said that Gayle now travels with security in wake of the event. NBA legend Dwayne Wade opened up Monday about his 12-year-old daughter Zaya's transition to female, telling The Ellen Show he and wife Gabrielle Union are, quote, proud parents of a child in the LGBTQ+ community. Wayne detailed the moment his child came out to him, explaining how it's an opportunity for her to influence others. Daughter Zaya has since responded, offering advice to those struggling with gender identity issues themselves. Wade has been quite a supportive father, most recently defending Zaya against transphobic comments on a Thanksgiving family photo. Parasite director Bong Joon-ho made history this weekend, winning 4 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Director. In addition to the first Oscars win for South Korea, Bong is only the second Asian Best Director, and Parasite is the first non-English film to take home top honors. Can you guys believe it took this long?
I actually can. It's quite sad when you think about it, how unwilling people are to step out of their comfort zone and to see films. And this doesn't just go for films, it goes for music as well, to just experience new cultures and be able to see what movies look like in other parts of the world.
Right. Well, I mean, just up until this year, the Best International Feature Film, which a category he won, was called Best Foreign Language Film, just up until this year. So it shows there we're making progress.
Right, and as we were talking about off camera, Miles, this is his 7th movie, but the first one to receive some recognition and receive an Oscar. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's not even the first one to win to get recognition, which is interesting. He's done 7 films before, a 2017 film with Netflix. He did a movie with the Weinstein Company before the scandal broke out. I think this is the first film that has really caught people's attention in a serious way. Why that is, it's hard to say. It must be the contents, but by no means is he a new director. He's been getting props from all of his idols, Scorsese, Tarantino, for years. So just now the world's noticing.
Awesome. Thanks, Miles. Well, as usual, there are some funky styles going on in New York on the red carpet this year. Let's go to Amog Matthews and Danielle Fineza with a review of the hits and misses of this year's Oscars.
Good morning, Emerson. Sunday night, the Oscars took place, and there was a lot of crazy dresses.
It was.
Right?
There's a lot to look at.
We're gonna basically kind of like react to them. First, it looks like we have
Janelle Monáe.
Wow, so I'm getting a lot of Star Wars vibes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she kind of looks like a Sith Lord.
I saw like Disco Ball.
Disco Ball, yeah. You know what? I see Disco Ball too.
Next up, we have Billy Porter.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Looks like armor.
I like the top a lot. Kind of looks like a bird.
I imagine like Greek breastplate kind of thing.
Yes.
But like a avian take on it.
Next up, we have Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
Have you seen this one yet?
Emerson's sweetheart. Oh,
yeah.
That's not even okay, that's not a suit. So
No.
good looks on that.
I saw some memes people made. He's like working at a gas station.
I thought like space cadet.
That also works really
You
well.
know, if I saw him at like a gala for mechanics, a ball for mechanics,
He'd fit right in.
he'd fit right in.
Kristen Wiig.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is a crazy one.
She's like a squid.
Definitely
right?
very like aquatic. There's fish gills.
Whoever made it was like, this kind of looks like a squid, but it's like high fashion.
High fashion squid.
Now let's hit the streets.
Yes.
And see what you and the people of Emerson have to say.
It's like a ribbon.
I like the top half, but I don't like the bottom half.
I like the hair. I hate the outfit.
Wow, very extraordinary.
It reminds me of a curtain.
I mean, out of 10, I'd give it like an 8 or 9.
It's like a windbreaker.
Yeah.
It looks like a utility outfit.
Would you wear this?
No.
No? No? Would you guys wear this? Yes? No?
No.
I'd wear it because he wore it.
I hope you enjoyed those interesting reactions we had. We got some great feedback from the Emerson community. For GME, my name is Amog Matthews. Back to you.
Thanks, guys. Well, we're here with our musical guests from Pigeon Man. We have Peter Zube and Ryan O'Neill here with us. Welcome, guys.
Thanks so much for having us.
So talk us through the formation process of this band, Pigeon Man.
So we actually started off last year around September, right at the beginning of the school year. The two of us met and we jammed a little bit in a practice room, decided we want to play together. And then from there, we just started feeling around because we go to a music school. So we just started, playing around with different people. We found Steven Ellison, who's our drummer. And then from there, we actually found his roommate, Brad Young, who plays bass for us. And that's just kind of how our band came to be.
Awesome.
So, what's your guys' most memorable performance together?
Oh gosh, probably our EP release show, Out of the Blue. It was a couple of months ago. It was on October, what was the day?
18th?
Something like that. But yeah, it was a really wild show. Like the venue was jam-packed with people, and it was crazy.
Yeah, and that's an extra special space because the ceiling's so low, so all the crowd surfers are like pressed up against it when they. Yeah, so it's really a fun space.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So there's a lot that goes into making a song. It takes a lot of time, I assume. What was the creation process behind the song you guys are going to be performing today?
So that was actually the first song that we ever wrote as a group. We wrote that collaboratively with the four of us. And it started off, he was just playing around with this little intro riff, the dun 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 that the song starts off with. And then we kind of formed a chord progression around that. He came up with the lead riff, and then I came up with the vocal melody, and then the four of us just kind of pieced together the form of the song, and that became Home for Now, which is the title track off of the EP that we put out last year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So the question that we've all been waiting for, why Pigeon Man for the name? It's a very interesting name. Why'd you guys pick it?
So actually, the show Hey Arnold, the Nickelodeon show from the 90s, there's this obscure character who's in one episode, and his name is Pigeon Man, and he's this homeless man who doesn't trust humans, so he only has relationships with birds, which is why they call him Pigeon Man. And I thought that that was such an interesting, dark concept for a kids show to have, this character who doesn't trust humanity. And I was like, that would be the perfect name to represent these sad boys.
Right. That is so interesting, but that is awesome.
Always wash your berries.
And I have to ask, I was looking through the lyrics of the song. You mentioned Drake Bell.
Yes.
Is there a reason you mentioned Drake Bell? Is it because the song is similar? Or?
Yeah, actually, right when we met, like a couple weeks later, Drake Bell came to the Lansdowne pub right next to Fenway Park. So we went and we moshed to Drake Bell, and that's where that word came from.
That's awesome. All right, when we come back, we're going to play a quick game with Ryan and Peter. Don't go anywhere. We are back with Ryan and Peter from Pigeon Man, and in honor of our musical guests, we got creative with the game this week. We're going to play Pigeon or Man.
Incredible.
All right, guys, so here's how this game is going to work. I will say a fact, and you guys will have to guess if that given fact is about a pigeon or a person. So you will hold up the picture of a pigeon if you think it's about pigeons, or vice versa, the picture of a person if you think it's about people. Sound good?
Okay, that sounds perfect.
Let's do it.
Awesome. All right, here's the first fact. Apparently, this species is bioluminescent. Pigeons or people?
Okay, I don't even know what that word means. Can I get a? All right, I'm just gonna go with them.
It's actually humans.
Okay.
So we just can't see it with our eyes, but it is there though.
Okay.
Interestingly enough. Yes. All right, so for our second question, are people or pigeons more efficient multitaskers?
There's just no way a pigeon is.
It's actually pigeons.
Hey, Ryan taking the lead.
Apparently, when people and pigeons were trained to do the same task, pigeons performed better than people.
That's just a lie.
Very interesting.
That's so disappointing.
Producers.
It is a little bit disappointing for sure. All right, next one. This species' top speed is 28 miles per hour.
28. I'm gonna go with the bird for that one.
That's far too fast.
Yeah.
It's humans.
I cannot go
Who runs at 28 miles per hour?
Usain Bolt, maybe?
Right.
That's fast.
That's true. Maybe they were basing it off him. Pigeons' top speed is 92.5 miles per hour.
That's even faster than me.
But they fly an average of 77.6 miles per hour. Maybe that's what's tripping you out.
Jeez.
All right. Last one. Which are there more of in New York City, pigeons or people? It's people.
Okay.
There's 8 million people in NYC and only 7 million pigeons, pretty close margin. But there actually are more pigeons in New York City than there are people in the entire city of Boston.
Oh my gosh.
Interestingly enough. And it looks like our winner is Ryan.
Hey.
Congrats. That was very
It's impressive.
game.
It's impressive.
I appreciate it.
All right, well, stick around to see Peter and Ryan and the rest of Pigeon Man perform Home for Now later on. Don't go anywhere.
Red Sox made it official. Former AL MVP Mookie Betts is being traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers in a pair of two-team trades involving Boston, Los Angeles, and Minnesota. Boston sends Betts along with pitcher David Price to LA, while outfielder Alex Verdugo and infield prospect Jeter Downs joined the Red Sox from the Dodgers. Red Sox Chief Baseball Officer Chaim Bloom stated that trading Betts was the best move for the franchise in the long run. The Red Sox are also continuing their search for a permanent head coach with under 2 weeks remaining before spring training. The Minnesota Timberwolves finally unleashed D'Angelo Russell. The 23-year-old point guard was traded from the Golden State Warriors on trade deadline day and made his debut in Timberwolves colors against the Raptors on Monday night. In 32 minutes on the court, Russell scored 22 points and recorded 5 assists with 0 rebounds. Even with Russell in the fold, the Timberwolves fell to the Raptors by a score of 137 to 126. Russell and the Timberwolves are back in action tonight against the Charlotte Hornets. Phillip Rivers is leaving Los Angeles. The Chargers announced on Monday that the team will be parting ways with their star quarterback after 16 seasons. At 38 years old, Rivers is an 8-time Pro Bowler, led the Chargers to 6 playoff appearances, and was named Comeback Player of the Year in 2013. Rivers also started 224 consecutive games for the Chargers in his career, which is the second most for a quarterback in NFL history, only behind Brett Favre. Rivers will be an unrestricted free agent beginning March 18th and will be free to negotiate with any NFL team. The Chargers, meanwhile, hold the 6th overall pick in the upcoming draft, in a position to select the next Phillip Rivers. That's all I have for sports this morning. Let's send it back to Angel and Megan.
Thanks, Sam. Now we have a new segment on the show. Let's head over to our Boylston Bites correspondent, Noelle Gordillo.
Walking around Boston, there's always one thing you're bound to see. And no, I'm not talking about Emerson students wearing Doc Martens. I'm talking about bubble tea.
But there's only one spot where Emersonians can get their favorite milk tea paired with waffle pops that definitely top the dining hall. We got to talk to one of the owners of Sweet Waffles and Boba in Chinatown.
Hi everyone, my name is David. I'm one of the owners of Sweet Waffles and Boba. I'm a firm believer in giving the best quality that you could get. I just think that when you make a good product, it shows. You know, it shows through the first bite, it shows through a feeling. As far as the best waffle here, I think it's the strawberry shortcake, just because it brings back memories of your childhood, at least for my childhood. You know, we've always had that strawberry shortcake ice cream bar. But in this case, it's a waffle, and I wanted to bring that sense of childhood back. We put games here so that people can feel at ease. They can just kind of chit-chat amongst each other. I wanted this to be the go-to place for most people, whether it's to come here to do schoolwork, homework with their laptop, or maybe just catch up with old friends. What sets us apart is we want to do everything the right way. It's not money-driven. We're more goal-driven. We want to be successful the right way, you know. And I try to make it a shop that I would want to go to if I was a customer. Yeah.
So if you have an especially sweet tooth, make sure to come to Sweet Waffles and Boba on 18 Hudson Street to get that sugar fix, or multiple sugar fixes. I'm Noelle Gordillo. Good morning, Emerson.
Thanks, Noelle. Coming up, the moment we've all been waiting for, Pigeon Man performs.
Don't go anywhere.
So basically every semester the Emerson channel puts on anywhere from 10 to say like 13 different programs. Right now we have 12 shows, including 3 brand new shows coming up this semester, which are super exciting because we have studio shows, field shows, specials, sitcoms, news programs, really anything that people want to get involved with.
It's very open and welcoming to anybody who doesn't know. Like, you don't need to know anything to be able to participate.
My favorite thing about the Emerson channel is that everybody is willing to help and teach one another. Everyone wants each other to learn, and it's not very selfish of an environment. It's very collaborative rather than competitive.
When I was a freshman, I went to countless workshops.
You can see yourself going to workshops as a freshman or sophomore, and then see yourself teaching those skills to other people.
You'll look back and you'll know all this stuff, and you'll look at where you started and where you are now and be totally amazed at all the stuff that you've learned throughout the semester.
We also accept student work from different organizations or just independent work that people would love to see on the channel.
There's really no limits to who or what you can do at the Emerson channel, which is great.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson.
Now here's Pigeon Man performing their single, Home for Now.
Take it away, guys.
Town, new vibe, new biz, our friends. We march to breakfast just like we. I do miss the great, I'm part of fun. The trains will feel okay after days are gone. I'll stay with me. Then I have to admit, not be on stress, but it's a killing me. Now I'm not to where I am, but it's here. Should I be tested? It's so unclear. Don't even know my way around, but I'll be immersed in these new sounds. They seem to be longer now. It's really about home now. It's time to go bus for textbooks. I'm cheer for art, but it ain't gonna feel good ever again. So bittersweet that I cry. It's such a taste when I begin. I have to admit that we are stressing to killing it. I'm not sure where I'm headed to. Should I be attention? It's so unclear. Don't even know my way around, but I'll be immersed in these new sounds. This seems to be a moment now. That's really not home. I finally feel like myself again. New town, new vibe, new biz, our friends. This is the right direction. I have to admit, not be unstressed, it's a killing me. I'm not sure where I am, but it's here. Should I be attention? So unclear, don't even know my way around. But I'll be immersed in these new sounds. This seems to be but now that's really fine home now. For confusing content, I have to admit, not be unstressed, but it's so killing it. I am good at it, so unclear, don't even know my way around. But I'll be immersed in these new sounds. Seems to be anyone but how. That's really fine home now.
Guys, that was awesome. Thanks so much for that awesome performance.
You can stream all of Pigeon Man's music on iTunes and Spotify.
Thank you so much for waking up with us. I'm Angel Salcido.
And I'm Megan McPherson. We'll see you next week.
Play us out, guys.